Hi, you guys. Welcome back for our daily practice questions. It is day 341, and as always, I like to first start with my introduction and disclaimer before getting started with our questions for today. So, for those of you who are familiar with me, hey y'all. For those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Brittany Weinstock, a family nurse practitioner and the founder and CEO of the Nursing Studio. I provide resources, tools, review courses, review videos, review books, digital flashcards, Q banks, one-on-one sessions, and more to assist nurses as well as nurse practitioners with success in their boards as well as in practice. I've been doing this since 2015, assisting nurses and nurse practitioners internationally with exam success. But y'all know my disclaimer and reminder is that we know there's no absolutes in medicine. We treat on a patient by patient basis, and any of the questions that you see here, I have designed and created based on the current guidelines that are being tested on the ANCC as well as AANP exam. Now, any of my videos where I'm teaching on things that we currently do in practice, I always say that so there's no confusion. So, with that being said, let's get into question number one for today. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you're not missing any of my videos. And if you would like to gain access to my NP Test Success Toolkit, it is free and linked in the description. My website is also linked in the description and it houses all the resources that I do offer. And I like to direct you to my business profile by simply going to Google and searching The Nursing Studio. It will bring you here where you can find my contact telephone number, link to my website, and testimonials from previous review students. All right, y'all. Question number one for today. A 23-year-old woman presents with painful, deep nodules and abscesses in her axilla. She has had several episodes over the past year and notes scarring and sinus tract formation. What is the most likely diagnosis? Is it A, folliculitis? Is it B, hidradenitis suppurativa? Is it C, pityriasis rosea? Or is it D, erysipelas? Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments, y'all. All right, I always recommend reading the stem of the question first as it allows you to slow down to ensure you're answering what is even being asked of you. So here the stem of the question states, what is the most likely diagnosis? I always tell y'all, if they're looking for a diagnosis, you got to run it back and look to see what the assessment findings show, right? So how are they presenting? What are their signs and symptoms? So this 23-year-old female comes in, has painful deep nodules and abscesses under her axilla, right? So armpits, right? Underarms, right? So again, I always tell y'all when we're talking derm, pay attention to the location and the key identifiers. They are going to describe this on the exam because you're going to get it in a paragraph form like this, right? So you need to know the location because they're gonna try to give you those common locations, and then the key identifiers, right? So, and she's had several episodes over the past year, note scarring and sinus tract formation. This is classic for B, hidradenitis suppurativa, classically in the location of the axilla, where you have those deep nodules and abscesses that are very painful to touch, right? All right, folliculitis is more surface level. Pityriasis rosea doesn't even have these nodules. It does the Christmas tree, pattern rash, Harold patch. That's its classic identifiers. And erysipelas is more erythematous, but they don't have nodules either. All right, question number 2. A 9-year-old boy presents with sore throat, fever, tonsillar exudates, and tender anterior cervical lymphadenopathy. He denies cough or congestion. What is the most likely diagnosis? Is it A, viral pharyngitis, B, streptococcal pharyngitis, C, mononucleosis, or D, allergic rhinitis? Take a moment and tell me what you got, y'all. All right, stem of the question states, what is the most likely diagnosis? So again, we're looking for a diagnosis, so we're going to run it back and look at these assessment findings. So this 9-year-old has sore throat, fever, tonsillar exudates, and tender anterior cervical lymphadenopathy. Y'all, alone, this is classic presentation for your strep pharyngitis, your strep throat, right? But also, I always tell y'all, if they just tell you about the sore throat and where the lymphadenopathy is located, you can commonly run into that similarity trying to differentiate between strep and mono. And I always tell you to pay attention to the lymphadenopathy, right? Strep throat has your anterior cervical lymphadenopathy, whereas mono has posterior cervical lymphadenopathy, okay? So B is your best answer. And lastly, question number 3, a 27-year-old woman reports an increase in thin, gray vaginal discharge with a fishy odor. Wet breath shows clue cells. What is the most appropriate diagnosis? Is it A, trichomonas, B, candidiasis, C, bacterial vaginosis, or D, chlamydia? Take a moment and tell me what you got, y'all. All right, so stem of the question, what is the most appropriate diagnosis? So again, we're going to run it back and look at the assessment findings. We have a 27-year-old female, comes in, she has increased thin gray vaginal discharge with a fishy odor. That alone is classic presentation for BV, bacterial vaginosis. Also the clue cells noted. Remember trichomonas, the classic presentation with that, they'll typically speak of the strawberry cervix as a key identifier. With this, so pay attention to the clues, okay? All right, you guys, I hope you found this helpful. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with whoever you may think may find this beneficial as well. But y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. And if you need any of the resources that I do offer, feel free to reach out to the Nursing Studio. You can give us a call, shoot us a text message, or an email. And everything that I do offer is linked in the bio of this channel, including my website. All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. Happy studying. Bye, y'all.